First up at 6 o'clock today, child care providers say the Trump administration's decision to freeze federal child care funding will hurt low-income families, forcing some parents to stop working. The freeze is in response to allegations of fraud in Minnesota. Target 8 investigator Ken Kolker has more on this story. Ken?
Sue, the Trump administration says it's freezing the federal child care funds to all states until they can provide more proof of how they spend that money. It's in response to allegations of fraud at Minnesota daycare centers run by Somali residents. Yvonne Hardiman has run a daycare center at her Grand Rapids home for 20 years and counts on federal funding to stay open. So the Trump administration says it's freezing child care federal funding.
Shocked.
She watches 5 kids from her Southeast Side neighborhood, 4 whose care is paid for by the Federal Child Care and Development Fund. Anywhere from $500 to $1,000 every 2 weeks, she says. She says it's the only way their parents can keep working. What kind of impact would it have on what you do?
That's going to be a bad impact. Not only on the providers, but the parents, because they count on us totally to be like the other parent, you know?
Yeah.
We're the other parent or the other grandparent or, you know?
The Child Care and Development Fund helps low-income families pay for care for children under 13 while their parents are working, training for a job, or going to school. The latest figures show it helped 1.4 million children and 871,000 families per month nationwide. It's not clear how many of those families are in Michigan. The board chair of the Child Care Providers Association of Michigan, which represents about 500 providers, says they are left with uncertainty.
If some of the at-risk funding is affected, then families have to pick up that bill, and then families will have to identify if they want to persist in paying for childcare costs or if they have to leave the workforce. So it affects everybody. It's not just childcare. I mean, if we don't have childcare, then the workforce in general will go down.
She says about 40% of the 100 children at her daycare center, the Bright Light Early Care and Education Center in Battle Creek, are covered under the program.
They are kids, and they are families, and they are staff, right? Because it trickles down. There's no way there's not enough margin in childcare to provide care for families without having reimbursement, which means that staff jobs will also be cut.
However, she says that in the long run, if the federal government eliminates fraud, that would be good for the program.
I could get angry, but I also believe that maybe this, allegation in Minnesota is creating some accountability that actually gets funding to kids that need it.
As for Yvonne Hardiman, she's waiting to learn what happens next.
Discouraging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, does it mean that they're targeting low-income families and children?
It's disheartening.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm about to pass this on to the parents now.
A spokeswoman for the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services says the agency is still waiting on guidance from the federal government, so it's not clear what the impact will be in Michigan or how the state will respond.